So, okay. Now, coming to this trading entry points. So I know Russ and few others are waiting for this step, right? And we want to know like how to trade. I mean, we have covered the theory and the concept and so far, like and the basics part of it. Now, like there are always state one transition is a very good entry point. We have seen that one. So we have 4 different models which I want to cover today. And one is like the state transitions by itself, like which we have seen this screen. Hope I still have that screen. No. Okay. So if we go to this state transition screen, we have seen those 3 stocks coming up last night. Right? These 3 stocks. Okay, so these are good points. I mean, we figured out like this is good and this is not good for long call, and let's go and put those parameters and come back. Well, let's take a look at this second stock also, like not focus on. So yeah, so this one is also not yet, still loading. Yeah, so this is a 73% win rate. Profit factor of 1. I'm not too excited on this one. And if I do 100, it's probably not good. Yeah, even though they have a high win rate, but it's not, profit factor is not enough. So I mean, on the long call basis, I would go at least about nearer to 2. Like the higher the possible is better, but at least it should go around 1.75 to, I mean, closer to about 2. That's what it, between the 2 models or between the 2 stocks, you want to select 1 or 2, the top performing stocks. Yeah. So this one is not bad, like for this parameter, but it's not good enough. Like, so it's a 50-50 stock, right? 50-50 trading model. So I would skip those. I mean, last night, only this one is good for the long call, and this one is good for the bear call. That's how we come up with this one, right? So this is definitely one good entry point. From a state transition standpoint, and there are 3 more enhanced models what we do on top of this state 1, right? And also for the state transitions, I mean, there's one other thing we can look at. So like if you look at the stock, like from an overview standpoint, is it a grade A stock? And if it is a grade A stock, then I would be more interested than the, yeah, it is B grade stock. I mean, not bad. So it's okay. I mean, if I'm very much excited if it's A grade stock. I'm still excited, but not as much as I would be in a grade stock in the B grade one. If it's a C and D grade stocks, like, I mean, forget it. Like, I'll move to the next stock. And if there is no trade today, last night, if there is no trade, move on. Like, I mean, I manage the existing trades and no new trades today. That's the approach I take. And when it comes to this the ILO uptrend, we'll go each model by model. See, this also involves state transition, and this also involves target one has to be a greater than 8%. Meaning, I mean, remember I talked about if I'm an options trader, I want a higher probability of price movement. The higher the price movement, the better it is for me as an options trader, right? The more gap between the entry point and the target point. So, and the sweet spot is around 78%. And here, for ease of use, what we did is we gave access to everybody on this one. Like, I think all of you should have this one. So in the custom filters, there's a Delphian, ILO, low price. All you need to do is this one. That's it. So, but what I mean, the last night there's nothing that matches. But what it has is it has also the third equation it has is it has enough price volatility. What we mean by price volatility is, see, volatility is measured by certain indicators, right? Bollinger Band measures the volatility, basically the standard deviation. The standard deviation and average true range also measures the volatility. There are 3-4 different technical indicators that measure the price volatility in the market. So when you are using ATR, ATR can be 5 for one particular stock. But what if the stock itself is a $10 stock? And even though it has $5 ATR, I mean 5 ATR, but if the stock is only about $5 stock, may or may not be good. But if it has a $100 stock, it has a 5 volatility, 5 points volatility. That means it has a probability of moving 5 points up or down tomorrow. So that's exactly what you want in terms of options trading. So that if you this is not a technical indicator, but we calculate it at the back end. We use a 14-day ATR and multiply that by 100, and we can multiply by close price, and that ratio needs to be around 2.5%. So once that condition is satisfied, then they will be identified over here. So let's go back for those of you new to Delphi, and we can change the date and go back in time, and then check if there is a trade like a couple of days back. If you don't find here randomly, I will select another date. Yeah, we have one stock. Let's go back a couple of days back, weeks back. I think we can directly go here. Okay, let me see one stock, which is the latest stock. See, should be there. 630. Hey, did I select the right thing, Josh? ILOC trend, right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, either
Selecting
one.
incorrect. Yeah. Okay. So here you can see the stamps, right? I mean, let's take a look at this stamps. If I go to the stock overview, see this. This is 183. Let's take a look at the state modeling. It needs to get triggered today. Yeah. So the trigger point is today, and it has 11%, 11.5%, which is greater than 8%. So that's why it qualified, and it has an ATR, average true range, to the ratio of this closing price when multiplied by 100, and then it has 2.5 times. So it has a speed in terms of price volatility. So this is a perfect stock. So I mean, we can see you can see like if we come back to this current date on this stock, let's see what happened after that, after we got into that stock. So it went up. So if you look at so this is the point what we are talking about, right? So if you look at this stock, I mean, it is up and down, but it relatively higher price. I mean, from a technical bullish indicator standpoint, it got triggers, but it got a trigger like with a high price range with a good price target. And it is not guaranteed that this entry point would have the same parameter as well, like because that 8%, 11% price movement is calculated on the fly. Sometimes the same stock as STMPS and the STM and the stamps.com probably will not have a 8% movement predicted in the target one. Maybe it was only 7% based on the volatility what's going on in that particular stock. So these percentages are calculated on the fly. So these are not constant. The stamps.com got selected here doesn't mean that it always will be greater than 8%. It doesn't mean that. This keeps changing based on what's happening on the stock. If like for example, Netflix has been sleeping for about a year period, like it was not doing. It was range trading. Like so in that year when we got the signals, the percentage of movement was very less. So because of that, the volatility gets impacted. So yeah. So instead of remembering all these rules, multiple rules, and we made it a little bit easier. A click button over here in the custom screener, a click button. So all you need to do is ILO uptrend. That's it. Like that will give you that all the conditions. Instead of going and setting multiple conditions, that's easier. See here, relative ATR is about 5.33, like close 10 point. This is what we want to have, that 2 greater than 2.5. Okay, so when we do this over here, if you look at, we pre-ran to save time. Like there are totally around between what Josh did is he ran it for me. And he took the universe of liquid options, around 330 stocks. I believe like he ran it for about 10-year period. We'll double confirm that. Yeah. So yeah, he took all the 330 stocks and he ran it from 2007 onwards. I mean, I'm slightly wrong, like 13.5 years, beginning of 2007 to 2020. And if you look at the results, I mean, he traded only one contract. Anytime, every trade is only one contract, and you can also trade it like otherwise. And you can always say like, my each trade is going to be $1,000, and if it gets 2 contracts, so be it. If it gets 1 contract, so be it. Or if it gets 30 contracts, so be it. You can trade that way as well. I mean, you have to have some kind of a constant for each trade in terms of dollar amount. I would always suggest like less than 1% of the overall portfolio. And if your portfolio is little too small, then you have to increase it a little bit. But the higher percentage you increase, the risk, you are increasing more risk. So overall, across this 330 stocks, there are 867 stocks. So the idea is like, I mean, you should not have many stocks. I mean, the state one transitions by itself, if you ask by itself, and there probably will be around thousands of it, like maybe 5,000-6,000 transitions for these 330 stocks, maybe 3,000 to 4,000 transitions during this period, right? But he doesn't want all of that. Like he wanted only high quality entry points. So when we want high quality entry points, we have to find a way how not to trade for each entry point. So if you are able to find a reason, and that's a good decision not to trade. And if you are not able to find, that's when you can take the trade in. So if you follow that model, here you can see like the win ratio. I mean, he did this for long call. You can also click on it. Long call, and every time we get a trade, every time he gets a trade, then he did a 60-day option, a monthly option, 60 days to expire, and every time the strike will be selected is around 30 delta, that is at least 30 delta. The first strike after 30. If it is 31 delta, so be it. If it is 32, right after 30 delta, then that will be 32 delta. And once it hits 25% profit, then that trade gets closed. And it's an all-in trade, and meaning he is not using a stop loss. He's just leaving it for there until it expires or until the trade expires, which is 120 days, 120 trading days, which is probably 6 months trade. And our options probably will expire much before than that. So on the day of the option expiry, if you don't make money, you lost money, like it's an all-in trade. So simple trade rules, nothing complex, but he got a good profit factor as well. So give it a minute. Okay, so yeah, here we have a profit factor of 1.49. Not bad, but I would prefer like more than 2. So I mean, approximately the trade stayed around 25 days. And if you increase this profit factor to 100%, and you'll have to stay in the trade like longer time, and also like you probably will not get as much a success rate as this one is. So and if you look at the high-low trend, let me go to the group. So if you go to the group level, like he just made like several other modifications to the trade, and we will take a look at improvements to that and adding a grade, so that what will happen next. So yeah, if you go here, like you click on this one, it will give you the summary. I mean, AI. Obviously, the state one trigger is the model like which we use, right, to take the entry point, and everything will be only state one at the point of entry. So this divides the entire profit and all the metrics by each state. And if you look at symbol, like the American Airlines is loss, and there are loss making ones and there are profit making ones. So you can discard right away. Like there is another way of doing it. Okay, these are not good trades, and you can exclude this from the universe, right? So these models you can. I mean, you can't take away all of them, but you can take away like some of the 0% winning trades and some of these less than 50% winning trades. You can take it away. And if you look at these years, like there is the majority of the money is lost is in 2008. That's a huge dent in this model, right? The overall market is down, and you are trading the high price model. So that's a majority of the losses that came from. So when you go to this grade model, like you can see like the grade A stocks gave a higher winning percent, higher profit factor, maybe slightly D is also matching, but higher winning dollars. So if I have to, instead of trading, right around 867 times, instead of trading that many number of times, what if I want to trade only 25% of that and take only the 257 trades, and I'm okay with 80% and this dollar amount, and I would probably like double up if I want to risk $1,000 instead of $580 and take double and get the same amount of money with a higher winning percent and take less number of trades. That means for each trade, on an average, I'm reducing this 26, 27, 25, 30, money being tied in this number of days. For 600 trades into 25 days, I'm reducing the capital being tied and the capital being at risk also, right? So I'm trading for a shorter period of time, and I'm getting as much money as I would get in a normal scenario. if I trade only the grade A stocks. So in the run two, what we did is we added a secondary filter with a grade A stop only, filter only. That means when we get the signal, when we get the I low uptrend signal, then it has to be in the grade A in the fundamentals. So only then take the trade. So that rule made it reject a lot of trades, made it reject like almost around 676 trades, and it took only 205 and plus 52 losses. And even if you look at this one also, right? Let me duplicate and open it. Go to run two, and if I look at the year, this probably the grade A stock still made loss in 2008, much more like whatever the loss we got, right? So I just want to look at the year what they got. Taking very long this way. Let me open this. Okay. While that's filling up, we can move on. Like so in the next run, what he did was like why long call? Why can't we do the bull call? So he went ahead and changed the strategy into a bull call strategy. You open this one. Okay, so here also the same 60-day expiration. From a selection standpoint, it is in the money bull calls, lower standard deviation. One standard deviation that would be the buy strike, and one strike above the current close. That means a little bit wider. Inside, like for example, I think stock chart. Let's say like for this stock, the one standard deviation could be like somewhere around 380, and then we buy the 380 strike, and then we sell like one above, right above this 420 strike is being sold. So there is a 40-point gap over there. So with that model, with that rule, and we are collecting 25% of the maximum profit. If a spread is a limited profit, right? So if we could get $4,000, we are happy with $1,000 profit on that. So that's the rule what we gave, and which has a highest success rate, which is about 86%, if I remember right. Yeah, 86%, and it's still like for all the 800 trades what we took, right? We made as much money as very close to that. But at the same time, our risk is a little bit more like here, because we are doing that in the money spreads, and we are slightly expanding that width of that spread. But if you are not happy with that spread, you can also pinpoint, like you always would want a 5-point spread or a 3-point spread or a 2-point spread. Then it will do the test with that spread model. And on top of that, for the same rule, I mean, same exact way how he added the grade A filter like for this run two on top of this long call. He added like the grade A filter for the bull call. And when he added, okay, filter only grade A stocks, and then out of this 205 winners, he converted that into 226 winners instead of 205. It is the same number of trades, same trade points, but our win rate increased from 88 to 88%. And rejects came up to around 600 trades. And so a lot of trades are rejected, and he's taking only quality win rates. So this is definitely one high performing indicator on how to trade combining the grade model. Any questions so far? Okay. Okay, moving on to the next one. So this is a next model is a iBlue price. This one is like, you will see pretty much like most of the times what happens when there is a trending stocks. I mean, take Tesla or Amazon. We have seen that or Apple. I mean, we have seen them like making all-time highs, and every 10 days, I mean, they keep moving up and up and up and up, right? I mean, when you are all-time highs, I mean, when you are buying a stock at an all-time high, it kind of is major risk because it is an all-time high. It could come down because what goes up has to come down. But also, there's another way to look at it. Today's high price could be a low price if the stock still continues to move up, right? So most of the times that pattern holds good. I mean, the stocks which make that's why like there are a lot of people who teach like trading 252 day highs. That is a 252. I mean, 52-week highs, the 1-year highs. So in this iBlue price, we are not looking at 1-year price. We are looking at all-time highs, and when it's making a new high every 10 days, all-time high again after 10 days, with at least a 5% movement, between the two trades, that's when we are saying there is a multi-trade. There is another trade. There is another trade. There is another trade. So you're layering, you are riding the wave that's going on in the stock every 5% of the movement. So this one. This one, if you come to this iBlue, so here we are saying, okay, there are about total of 911 stocks. I mean, there are 89 rejected for multiple reasons. I mean, he ran it for long call, and some of the stocks are not optionables back then. So when those are not optionables back then it will reject the trade because it can't buy a long call back then, right? If it's not an optionable stock at that time, so it will reject the trade. And reports are taking longer. Okay, so here also if you see, I mean, if you go to this because here we are not using state modeling at all, but coincidentally large portion of the signals came in state 1, because if it's an all-time high, obviously we probably would have got the state 1 signal a long time back. So this is another entry point like for that one. And there are few subscribers who asked me like, okay, state 1 has met already target, like now what's new? Like, I mean, it met target 3, it's still riding up and up. Can I trade that one? So for them, this is an answer, like this is a trade like which they can take. So there are a few like members from here, it's like kept asking me like to improve the model, but we haven't worked on that retweaking that one. So here you can see like A and B grade stocks like made the most. Like if you're sticking to your if you're trading only strong stocks, you would trade only about A grade stocks, and you would be doing only about less than 200 times versus about nearly 1,000 times. So and you would get you would get a 78% win rate with a good profit factor. See here, if you look at the profit factor is high, much higher than any of the others, right? So this is a typical pattern. So if you take only A grade stocks, and if you are very risk conservative type, then you take less number of trades, but you get the good entry points. But if you are very aggressive, then you can take it all, and then do the trading. But slightly like you get 2 or 3 times more than what you would get normally in the other way. Okay, so this one, next one is like iTrend very bullish. There is another signal like let me go to here, like let me show the iBlue price also where it is, custom screener. It's here itself, iBlue in the price. That's what we need to do. Let's see if we have anything last night. Usually when the market is very bullish, then you get a lot of signals from this one. Yeah, we got Tesla last night. Oh, sorry, take back. This is on 6:30. 6:30 we got Tesla, and obviously like we can take a look at what happened as of now. So we got the state 1 entry on 709 back in our, yeah, the back here, right? See, and we got on 6:30. This is where we got that signal, and it went up, right? So yeah, that's the power like of this one. Like so, okay. On iTrend, there's a different levels of bullishness and very bullish. Very bullish is basically a very specific case of I mean certain conditions happening on that stock. So if you come here like on the 13-day histogram, and for a plus DI, in the DI is nothing but a directional momentum, directional momentum indicator, DMI. So there is a positive momentum indicator, there is a negative momentum indicator, and when measured against the past 13 days, if the positive momentum is greater than the negative momentum, then the histogram is created. I mean, with a zero line. So let me explain. Like let's. I think we have the stock chart, right? Let's go to the stock chart. So that momentum indicator, that positive momentum should be less than a negative yesterday, and then should be greater than negative today. That means it's just crossed above. And another way of measuring is like if to make it very simple, if you see the histogram, if it crosses above the zero line, and if it is greater than 10, meaning it came in, the force came in so much, not only crossed below the zero line, from below the zero line to above the zero line, but also the value is greater than 10. And on top of that, there is an relative strength index, which is a overbought condition, measuring of overbought and overselling condition. So it has to be in the overbought condition, and specifically between 70 and 85. Meaning, I mean, stocks can, I mean, a lot of times what happens is like a overbought condition doesn't mean it is already done. I mean, most likely it will turn negative, but there are certain conditions which will make it keep going, or continue to be in that overbought condition for a longer period of time. So since that happens, that's what we are expecting in this particular signal. We wanted to identify which are the stocks that have the higher momentum. See here, this one is this blue line. This blue line is what, like that ADX baseline. I think DI histogram. Let me take this one. Stop that. Probably kill that. Okay. See here, if you look at this one, I mean, it went from, I mean, yeah, it is high. Something is not calculating here. Okay. So yeah, that positive DMI crossed above negative DMI. That's one condition. And then there is an RSI also. RSI has to be greater than 12. Greater than, say, 14 days. Yeah, so this red line is basically 70 line. So it has to be greater than 70 and below 85. See here, if we get a signal over here for Tesla, this qualifies over here. Okay, so the specific condition when it happens, if we run that, yeah, then that is a good entry point. So let's take a look at, let's go back and a trend very bullish. Okay, so this DI histogram, I mean, see, if you look at here, yeah. So here, when we ran with the long call, there are roughly around 7,900 and plus trades, around 950 trades here. So out of 950 trades, I mean, the win rate is 78%. And when we change that to bull call strategy, the win rate is around 81%, slightly increase, but we are getting more money. Of course, like we are risking a little bit more also. So for the same amount, if we can risk, I mean, you equate the risk to 3 times than this one, then long call would fetch more money in general. I mean, in terms of dollars, there's no strategy that will beat a long call by itself when you are right. So, I mean, at the same time, it takes away the money like when you are wrong as well. So 78% in my view, long call is good. And if you want a higher percentage of a bull call, I mean, with a slightly protection from a volatility standpoint, then I would go with a bull call. Either one of these is good, I mean, not bad. So when you do this, and when you go to this next one, we said, okay, what if we not take a D, I mean the D grade stocks, and you can see here, like we made the same amount of money. We made the same amount of money over here, and we got about roughly 110 rejections from the entry points where we got, and we took we maintain the same win percent. The profit factor improved as well. And so we don't need to trade. The answer is like we don't need to trade a D grade stocks when we are trading these bullish models. Okay, so that's one reference. And same way like you can see the similar numbers, slightly like the bull call got us slightly lower profit than the not trading D stocks. We gave away the profit, but we improved the win rate, right? We improved the win rate. That is one advantage we would get. And of course, the slight improvement, very slight improvement in the profit factor from 1.87 to 1.89. But if you look at trading only A and B grade stocks, and that maintained the win percent, and almost equal. I would say like 20% less, but we got 80% of the money by trading this one. So here, what we are looking at is like a reason not to trade, and come up with an analysis with only like what is the absolute must that I can trade, and I get the higher yield for my dollar in terms of the per day risk. Right? So the same way the bull call also same way. We did not give much away like by trading not trading the C grade stocks, by trading only A and B stocks, and we almost maintained the similar profit and almost increase the win percent to a higher number. Definitely staying in A grade and B grade stocks will be better performing than trading the C grade and D grade stocks, okay, with any of these three signals what we showed today, or any of these four signals today. That's pretty much it. Any questions? Yes, Sean?
No more questions from what we had earlier coming over right now. So everything looked good.
Okay, probably we can open up telephone questions. I don't know how to open it up. Josh, how do we open that up?
Josh had to step away for a second. Let me see if I can do that. But also, people can feel free to email either Josh or myself to ask any questions either, and we can make sure we respond to those as well.
Right.